Hey everyone, it's Darla. Welcome to today's tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to extend the length of your already long wearing manicure by simply doing a fill. So this manicure has been on just over 2 weeks, so you can see that there is some major regrowth happening. But if you aren't quite ready to completely remove it, and if your nail polish is still in good shape, you can easily just do a fill. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to do that. One thing you do want to avoid when you're doing a fill is if you notice any lifting or peeling. So this nail, for example, on the very tip there's a chip, and I can see that the polish is actually starting to lift. So I would not want to try to fill that and seal that down. If you have any lifting of the polish, you will definitely want to do a full removal. You don't want moisture getting trapped between your nail and the polish. But other than that, you can basically fill in that gap. You can touch up any chips or wear that you have on the tips and wear it until you are ready to completely remove it. For a fill, you'll need the same product that you would for a regular application. So we have our nail file and buffer, our cleanser, cuticle pusher, nippers if you need, and then the polish color that you applied with. So I'm going to do a regular fill, much like you would have done in a salon on this one here. So the biggest thing with a fill is you're going to have a ridge between where that natural nail is and where your polish is. So something to avoid during application is allowing too much polish to pool at the base of the nail, because when it grows out, you're going to have a really big ridge. So you can see there isn't too much of a height difference there, but we do want to just gently buff that down. If it's really thick, you can file it, but I'm just going to buff it so it is not quite as thick. So I'm happy with that height. I'm just going to give the nail a quick buff. And then I want to quickly go over the cuticles. If I have any extra skin at the cuticle, I would just gently push it down because we are going to be filling this space with polish. And if you have excess skin, you can go ahead and take your nippers and clip that back. So now just going over that whole nail space with a cleanser, getting rid of any oil or debris from the buffing. And you're just going to take the original color that you had applied. This is Pumpkin Splash, and we are going to, for the first coat, fill in that regrowth area. If you had a super dark color on and you weren't overly comfortable placing it in that small space, you can use Clearly Frisky to get it basically built up to fill in that space before you go in with color. I'm just going to take a little bit of polish on the brush, so you'll see how I just work slowly in thin coats. But if you were not comfortable placing color down, you could very easily go in with Clearly Frisky.
I'm going to leave this in real time so you guys can see just how slow and carefully I'm working at filling in that regrowth space. I'm dabbing the fresh polish along the regrowth line, very small amount of product on my brush, and then gently pushing it back down towards the cuticle area. I'm trying to get it as tight as I can to fill in that area without getting it on my skin. So now I'm just going to feather the polish that I had already laid down up the nail just a touch to get rid of any ridges. We want it to be a smooth transition. So give it a quick look over and then give it a full cure. So now for coat 2, we're doing that same step again, just filling in that regrowth space, gently feathering the polish up the nail and giving it a full cure. Onto the third and final coat, we are giving that full nail an application. So from cuticle all the way up, being sure to cap the tip like you normally would and giving it a 45-second cure. And your fill is complete. Give it a look over. If you see any lumps and bumps, you can very easily buff it down, cleanse, and then reapply that last coat. So on to the second fill. The prep steps for the nail are the same as the first fill, so just buffing that regrowth ridge nice and smooth. We're going to push any of the cuticle that's sitting on the nail back. We want that nail space to be nice and clean for our polish to sit on, and clipping any extra skin if you have it. Cleansing the nail and going in with Clearly Frisky for this one. So the first coat with Clearly Frisky, gently going in at that regrowth space, feathering it gently up the nail, giving it a full cure. Second coat, we are going in at the base again. I had a little chip on the tip of this one, so just going in, dabbing a bit of polish down, that's Ottoman Montreal on my tip, and then giving that a full cure. So now I'm going in with Andromeda, a chrome powder, and I'm going to tap it on top of that Clearly Frisky. So instead of putting polish in that regrowth space, I'm going to be applying the chrome. So going in with the pointy end of your applicator, it takes a very small amount, just going to press it down on that Clearly Frisky, keeping it as much as we can in that regrowth space. Give that a quick look over, make sure that chrome is filling that regrowth space. If you have the chrome anywhere you don't want it to be sitting, just take your cleanser pad and remove it. So now to seal that chrome in, just going over with 1 coat of Clearly Frisky from cuticle to tip and giving it a full 45-second cure. And now for the third type of fill, I'm just filling that negative space with a decal. So the prep steps for the nail would all be the same. And to fill that regrowth space, I'm just putting down a decal. It is so quick and easy. They are peel and stick. I'm just eyeing up which shape, which color, which direction I want it to go. There are so many to choose from. These are from the Tiara collection. And you are just going to stick it down. So you get a really pretty bejeweled look in seconds. Be sure to really push down on the decal, just making sure that it's stuck to the nail. We want to keep it away from the skin and free of any creases. When you're happy with the placement, take a cleanser pad, cleanse the nail space to get rid of any oils that might have been on your fingers, and give it a coat with Clearly Frisky. On the next 2 nails, I'm just repeating this process and placing decals in that regrowth space. These ones are just a different color and shape. On my pinky, I'm actually using 2. You can take them as far up your nail to get as much of a bejeweled look as you're after. So those are 3 types of fills that you can create different looks with to extend the length of your already long-lasting GelMoment manicure. So the first being the most traditional, filling it with polish, the second one filling that space with chrome, and the third with a decal. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.